In this video, a mesh representing the outer shape of a hairdryer is imported and used to create a two-piece shell. Adding solid features such as bosses, ribs, shafts, and threaded holes to hybrid solids completes the workflow for creating manufacturable products. After checking and repairing the mesh, it is split into two parts using a curve. Using the offset mesh command, an offset mesh of the front part is generated at a distance of 0.5 millimeters. Starting from the profile curve, two linear surfaces are created and positioned relative to the front mesh boundaries. Using the Make Solid command, the external mesh is converted into a hybrid solid, enabling the application of the rotational slot command. Select the profile, set the axis parallel to the y-axis, and adjust the rotational direction of the slot. After applying the command, the slot is created and the shape of the solid skin changes. Unhide the previously created linear surface and convert it into a solid skin using the Make Solid command. Use the Invert Normals command to change the normal direction of the skin. Use the Intersect Solid command to create a closed hybrid solid. Unhide the internal mesh and convert it into a hybrid solid using the Make Solid command. Apply the Intersect Solid command to the skin to create the internal shape, as was done for the external part with the Rotational Slot command. Convert the linear surface into a solid skin and invert the direction of its normal. Use the Intersect Solid command to create a closed hybrid solid for the internal part. Using the Solid Difference command, select both hybrid solids to create the solid shell of the hairdryer's front case. The back cover is created using the same procedure. Apply the Define Section View command to section the model along the symmetrical plane. Launch the Linear Slot command, select the profile in the face, and apply it through the entire front part. Add a hole feature above the slot. Set the diameter to 12 millimeters and choose Through Next as the extension type. Insert a shaft feature on the internal side of the front case. Set the angle to 2 degrees, the diameter to 9 millimeters, and the depth to 17.5 millimeters. Next, set the direction along the x-axis and apply the command. Insert a threaded hole feature on top of the shaft you just created. Set the designation to M4 and the thread depth to 10 millimeters. create a shaft feature on the internal side of the back cover. Select the face and snap to the center point of the shaft on the front case to align the features. Set the direction along the x-axis, the diameter to 8.75 millimeters, and the depth to 14 millimeters. After applying the command, use the hole command to create a 3.3 millimeter diameter hole through the entire shaft. Then insert a linear slot with a 9 millimeter offset to create a screw housing on the external side of the cover. Use the linear protrusion command to create the shaft for the bottom part of the front case. Select the profile and the face, then set an offset of 8.75 millimeters in the opposite direction. Insert a threaded hole on top of the protrusion you just created. Set the designation to M4 and the extension type to blind. Set the depth to 14.4 millimeters and the thread depth to 10 millimeters. Create the shaft for the bottom part of the back cover using the same profile. Use the linear protrusion command, set an 11 millimeter offset, and choose Up to Next as the extension. Insert a 3.3 millimeter diameter hole through the entire shaft you just created. Then create a linear slot on the external side for the screw housing. Insert a rotational slot on top of the front case. Select the profile and the axis, then apply the command. Add a solid union on top of the back cover to create a hook. Insert a linear slot through the rear shell for the air intake. Select the profile and the inner face. Insert a linear protrusion inside the shell to create the side ribs. Select the profile and the face. Set a 45 millimeter offset and choose Up to Next for the extension. Create the ribs for the bottom part of the back cover. Use the linear protrusion command to create the ribs starting from their respective profiles. Set the offset values and choose the Up to Next extension to extend up to the inner face. Finally, create a linear slot at the bottom of the front case for the power wire. And a hole feature on the front of the shell for the air outlet. Thanks to full hybrid solids, we were able to combine solid modeling features with mesh entities and create a manufacturable product.